Welcome back to Informational Workshop. This is segment 4 for chapter 1. At the end of segment 3, we finished talking about the geologic timescale. And at the end of that segment, you should have had a good understanding of the geologic timescale, how it was constructed, what kinds of information were used to decide on the divisions between the various time periods, epochs, eons, and eras. Also, how long some of those time periods lasted. And lastly, you should start to understand what we mean when we say deep time. So the big question is, how old really is the Earth? And how old is the universe? And how do we know what we know about the ages of the Earth, the universe, our solar system, let's focus there, and the planets in our solar system? So that's what we're going to take a look at here for the next couple of slides. First, we'll focus out to the big picture. We'll talk a little bit about the Big Bang. And then we'll focus in a little bit more closely onto our solar system and see if we can understand the steps or break it down into steps of formation for our solar system. Now finally, you want to look ahead to your quick mastery check for this section, which is going to ask you to list out steps of the formation of our solar system. So keep that in mind as we're talking about these things. So you've probably already heard about something called the Big Bang, and the question is, what do we already know about the Big Bang? And here in this picture you can see a kind of a cartoon that shows the Big Bang from its start on the left-hand side about 14 billion years ago. Now here's another time when you actually might want to write that number out just to get a feeling for how big it is. So how many zeros are on 14 billion? You want to write that number out actually and see how big a number that is. So on the left side with that red colored oval, you can see the start of the universe, if you will, the Big Bang. And then moving outwards in rings, in this case from left to right, is the evolution of the universe from the Big Bang moving forward until today, when we have numbers of different galaxies and clusters. So let's go ahead and focus in on our solar system. All we really need to know at this point about the Big Bang and about that whole time is that it happened about 14 billion years ago. So here on our next slide is a really nice video. It's about a short 4 minutes long, and it's a History Channel video. And I would like you to go ahead and pause this recording and then go ahead and watch the video in its entirety from start to finish. This is going to give you a good idea visually of what happened during the formation of our solar system. It will take you through the various steps, and then about halfway through the video, they'll start to discuss the impact that water has had on our planet. And I think this is really particularly interesting if you think back to some things that happened earlier this summer. So maybe earlier in August, you'll remember that there was a great event with the Mars Curiosity rover actually landing on Mars on Sunday the 5th of August, or early in the morning on the 6th, and some of the pictures that we initially got back from the Mars rover. So as we explore out into our solar system, we of course learn more and more about the other planets, but we also learn more about our Earth through those explorations. So as you're watching this video and they're discussing the origins of water, think about what you're hearing in the news about what they're learning from the Mars Curiosity rover as it looks for life and as it looks for evidence of water or even water itself on Mars. So go ahead, pause here, and watch this video, and then I'll rejoin you after you watch the video. Okay, so here's your quick mastery check for this section. Now, for this mastery check, you're actually going to want to grab your textbook. And in your textbook, you're going to want to look at pages 21 and 22. Now, you should go ahead and start at the bottom of page 21 with that large illustration that looks like the picture that you see here on this slide. And what you actually are seeing here is you're seeing the different steps, in this case steps A, B, C, D, and E, that scientists believe summarize what happened during the formation of our solar system. So what you need to do for this quick mastery check is take your textbook, read through the caption for the picture on the bottom of page 21, and then read the section in your textbook that starts with the origin of planet Earth on page 20, and go ahead and stop on page 22 where it says formation of Earth's layered structure. And from that, essentially one page of text and one image, I would like you to summarize into 5 steps, those 5 steps pictured in the image on the slide and on page 21 in your book. Summarize into those 5 steps the origin of our solar system. You're going to want to go ahead and pause here, and that will be the conclusion of segment 4. I'll talk to you next time on segment 5.